Kamala Harris's recent concession speech left Americans in shock. But while many were expecting a typical political address, what she said has ignited a wave of anger, confusion, and a strange sense of relief. Was this just a routine concession, or was there something more buried beneath the surface? At first glance, Harris's speech appeared to be a straightforward acknowledgement of defeat. But buried within her words was a deeper message that few were prepared for. She spoke of transitioning power and ushering in a new era, but it wasn't just political change she was referring to. Many believe this was a veiled message about major economic shifts and policy reforms that could be coming down the pipeline. And it's left investors wondering, what does this mean for the markets? The first layer of suspicion came when Harris mentioned, almost casually, that new leadership will ensure the economy is stronger than ever before. The statement seemed innocent enough on the surface, but for those paying attention, it was a clear signal that significant changes might be on the horizon. Could this mean that the administration is preparing to alter key policies in sectors like tech, healthcare, and energy? If so, what will the fallout be for investors who have spent years navigating these industries? While this statement alone raised eyebrows, things got even more intriguing when she subtly referenced the need for bold action to ensure resilience in the financial system. That single phrase sent shockwaves through the investment community. Could this be an indication that the government plans to introduce new regulations or even a major reform in the financial industry? The word, resilience, is a buzzword in financial circles right now, often used to describe a need for stability in the face of market volatility, but it's also a term that could suggest government intervention. And that wasn't all. Harris hinted at a new direction for sustainable growth, a line that didn't escape the notice of investors in renewable energy and green tech sectors. Was this an endorsement of future government-backed incentives for green energy? Or could it signal tighter regulations on traditional energy companies? The implications are massive, and both Wall Street and Main Street are watching closely. Then came the real bombshell. She referred to future priorities in a way that seemed deliberate and calculated. Harris mentioned, America will no longer be bound by outdated systems, and the economic future will belong to those who can adapt quickly. Was this a subtle message to investors, signaling that they needed to rethink their strategies or risk being left behind? Behind the scenes, sources have been whispering about the real reason behind Harris's speech. Political insiders suggest that the speech wasn't just a sign of resignation, it was a calculated move. A shift in power could be in the works, not just politically, but also in the financial world. Was Harris giving us a glimpse into the future of the American economy? Or was she just setting the stage for a bigger agenda? After her speech, some financial analysts noted a significant uptick in trading volumes across renewable energy stocks. Could this be the first sign of a coming push from the government to prioritize green energy, or is it merely speculation? What's clear is that investors are preparing for something big, but what exactly will it be? One of the most telling parts of Harris's speech was her emphasis on economic fairness and leveling the playing field. While some took this as a call for more inclusive policies, others saw it as a precursor to increased scrutiny on big corporations and the ultra-wealthy. Could we be heading toward a future where major tax changes or corporate regulations are implemented? If so, what would this mean for the stock market, real estate, and investments in high-growth sectors? For investors, the question is not just what will happen, but when it will happen. The markets have been volatile, and many are bracing for a potential shift that could affect everything from interest rates to corporate tax structures. Harris's speech might have been the first hint that the administration is preparing for a major overhaul in economic policy. But it's still unclear whether these changes will be beneficial to long-term investors or if they could trigger a major market correction. And then, there's the question of who stands to benefit. Behind the scenes, there are whispers of secret meetings between influential political figures and major business leaders. Were these meetings about economic reforms, or were they more about securing positions in the upcoming shift? Some insiders have suggested that big players in green energy and tech are already positioning themselves to take advantage of these impending changes, while others are concerned that traditional industries could be left behind. So, what's the real story behind Kamala Harris's concession speech? Was it just political theater, or is there a much bigger play at work? One thing is clear, the financial world is watching, and it's clear that changes are coming. Investors need to stay informed and be ready to adapt to whatever comes next. Stay tuned, because in our next video, we'll dive deeper into these rumors, uncovering exactly who is behind these supposed economic reforms, and what investors can do to prepare. You won't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button now, and get ready for the next big reveal.